Hello everyone! Welcome to the first series of Mannecast. This is Mannecast number 3. In this podcast, we're going to take a trip to the library. سلام دوستان! به اولین سری مانکست خوش اومدین. با مانکست شماره 3 در خدمتتون هستیم و قراره با هم به کتابخانه سفر کنیم. Let's go! I read in the local paper that a new public library had just opened 2 weeks ago in my neighborhood. I wanted to check it out, but first I called the library to check the hours of operation. The librarian told me that they were open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. So I decided to see the new library for myself. I parked my car in the library parking lot and walked in. There were 2 library clerks behind the counter and a librarian at the reference desk. I walked around and spotted the non-fiction section and moved onto the fiction stacks. There was a pretty good collection in both of these areas. I wanted to see if they had a book I've been wanting to read. So I went over to the computer to check the online catalog. As it turns out, they had 1 copy and it had not been checked out. I wrote down the call number and went to the stacks. I found it right away. When I walked in, I also noticed that the library had music CDs, videos, and DVDs that could be checked out. I looked briefly at the collection, but decided not to check out any right then. I had my book and I was all set. I stood in line and waited to check my book out. The library clerk said, "Next, please," and I stepped up to the counter. I asked her what the loan period was for the book. She told me that the due date was 3 weeks from today. I gave her my library card. She scanned the barcode on my book and stamped the due date on the back of it. It was quick and easy. I was so glad to have a nice new library so close to home. خب دوستان، حالا وقت چک کردن عبارت‌های داخل متن. Let's check out the expressions. I described a visit I took to my new public library in this podcast. I started by saying the expression local paper. By local paper, I mean the local newspaper. We sometimes distinguish the local paper from a national newspaper. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, these are some national or international newspapers. A local paper would be one that is read mainly in a city, single city, or area. Local paper به معنای روزنامه محلیه. To check out something here means to investigate, to look into, to find out more about. You can say, for example, I'm going to check out his story. Means I'm going to investigate it. I'm going to see if it's true. اینجا check out به معنای پژوهیدن، کند و کاف کردن استفاده میشه. We also use the expression check out to mean look at or pay attention. So it's an informal expression when we use it that way. You could, for example, say to your friend, hey, check out that car over there. It's really cool. Means pay attention, look. You're calling someone or getting someone to look at or pay attention to something. و اینجا چکت به معنای توجه کردن یا نگاه کردن به چیزیه. The hours of operation, you probably guess, are the hours that it is opened. Hours of operation یا همون ساعات کاری. The librarian is the person who works in the library. Actually, there are different people that work in a library. The librarian is usually someone with a college degree in library science. That's what we call it, library science or information science. And he or she has a college degree and is in charge of some part of the library. Other people who work at the library may just be library clerks. Librarian همون متصدی کتابخانه و library clerk کارمند کتابخانه است. I said the expression see for yourself means investigate it personally. Sometimes when people don't believe you, for example, I got an A on my test, and your friend says, oh, you did not. And you say, here, you see for yourself. In other words, look at it yourself. So, to see for yourself means to have personal experience, to personally look at something. See for yourself به معنای خودت بهش نگاه بندازه. In a library, there are two main desks or two main areas of service. One is the reference desk. This is where you go to ask questions if you're looking for a particular book or you don't know where to look in a library. It's sort of an information center. The other area of service in a library is the circulation desk. The circulation desk is where you go to get your books so that you can take them home. Reference desk یا همون میز اطلاعات و circulation desk میزیه که شما میتونید کتاباتون رو تحویل بدید یا تحویل بگیرید. The library usually has two sections. Just like a bookstore, it has different sections. One is a non-fiction section. These are books that are true about things that are true. Factual books, history, science, art, and other things that are in a non-fiction section or category. The other type of book you find in a library are fiction books, novels, poems, plays, and so far. Non-fiction books یا همون داستان‌های واقعی یا ادبیات غیر داستانی و fiction books ادبیات داستانی مثل رمان‌ها، کتاب‌های خیالی، اشعار و غیره. I said that in a catalog, you look up the call number. Call number means it's the reference number that every book has, so that you can find it on the shelf. Call number همون شماره کتابه. The expression as it turns out means the result was, or sometimes it means to my surprise, I wasn't expecting it. It's one of those expressions we use when telling a story that we want to give the result of some action in a story. For example, I went to the store and I was looking for some milk. As it turns out, they were all out of milk. That was the result in a story. In a library, each book is called a copy. It's not like a copy that you would make from a machine. When we say, how many copies does the library own of this book? We mean, how many books of this same title, this same book. So a library, for example, may have 25 copies of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. That would mean that they would have 25 of those books that you could find at the library. When you want to take a library book home, you have to check it out. Notice, this is a different use from check it out that we said at the beginning. To check out a book or to check a book out means to go to the circulation desk, give them your book, and they'll allow you to take the book home after they get your name and information. check out اینجا به معنای از کتابخانه کتاب گرفتن هست. I said that I went to the stacks. In a library, the shelves where the books are put are called stacks. Usually, in a library, we have many shelves of books, many rows of books that are in a large area. And we call the area where all of the shelves are the stacks. S-T-A-C-K-S. stacks به معنای همون ردیف قفسه های کتابخونه هست. By the way means almost immediately. And the expression right then means right at that time or immediately. Counter is a general word we use for a desk where you have one person on one side giving you some service, helping you, and you have a customer or a client on the other side. You can have a counter in a post office. You walk up to the counter, the person working, the clerk working at the post office is on one side of the counter and you are on the other side of the counter. The loan period of a book is how long you can keep the book before you have to renew it or ask for keeping it for a longer period of time or to return it. Loan period به معنای دوره نگهداشت کتابه. The due date of a book is the day you have to bring the book back. You have to return it. It's due. D-U-E. Due date به معنای سررسید یا تاریخ مقرر برای برگشت کتابه. She stamped the due date of the book on the back of the book. Many libraries put a piece of paper, it's like a sticker, that sticks to the book and they stamp the date on it, so you know when you have to return it. If you don't return it on time, then we say your book is overdue, meaning it's late. استمپ کردن به معنای نشاندار کردنه که از همون استیکرها یا برچسب‌ها استفاده میکنن تا تاریخ برگشت کتاب رو مشخص کنن. Finally, I said that the checking out my book was quick and easy. Quick and easy is a common expression and means it was very simple. In a moment, you'll see Mannekest's Telegram channel where you can download podcasts and audio scripts as printable PDFs. And here's our YouTube channel as well. Right, that's all for this time. It would be our pleasure to read your comments. Don't forget to follow us and share our posts with your friends. Bye for now. See you next Monday.